go to the book of Jubilees and how you're about to go to the book of Jubilees and how the Sabbath is celebrated or observed, correct? Let's get into that.
Yes, so according to the book of Jubilees, because again, the book of the official Bible that we have right now, it doesn't explain how a Sabbath is observed. And that's what I was saying, that's the importance of this extra biblical text, because the book of Jubilees, first of all, explain the importance of a new moon and what that means spiritually. These are factors that you can't find in the official Bible that we have. It's just say there, they just, blow the trumpet on the new moon, on the full moon, but there's no clear explanation of what that means. And then the Sabbath as well. There's, we all know the commandment to say keep the Sabbath, and don't do anything from it. But the book of Jubilees, when you read Jubilees chapter 50, it goes into details of what you do on the Sabbath or what not to do on the Sabbath. Now, to make sure to keeping it holy. And now the book of Jubilees also go even beyond, and it tried to explain as well that there's a difference between the Sabbath. That's the part that I wanted to talk about. There's a difference between the Sabbath of the land of Sinai, which is Egypt, which is the region of Egypt, and the Sabbath of the land of the promised land that the Israelites will go to, or our ancestors, the Bantu people, were supposed to go to keep another Sabbath. So when you read Jubilees chapter 50 from verse 1 to 5, it says, I'll just read the first two chapters, it says, "And after this Torah I made known to you the days of the Samba in the desert of Sinai." Sinai is around Egypt there. And that's ancient Egypt. Of course, today they call it some other place. "Which is between Elim and Sinai. And I told you of the Samba of the land of Mount Sinai. And I told you of the Jubilee years and the Sabbath of the years." So here we are being told about the year thereof I not told you. So you enter the land which you are to possess. So here this verse is telling us that there is a Sabbath of the land. When the Israelites were in Egypt, they were given a particular calendar to observe so that they could be able to celebrate the New Year, the Passover. But then the Jubilees tells us that they were told that you are just keeping this year for this land. But when you get to the land where you're going, you keep a different New Year. Because remember, the New Year has to start on spring. But there's two different spring. There's spring in the northern hemisphere, which start in March, April, and then there's spring in the southern hemisphere, which begins in September. And so when the Israelites were in Egypt in the northern hemisphere, they were observing the spring of that region. And the Most High said to them, when you get to the land, I will give a new calendar for that land. And that's why they have when they go to the land, the southern hemisphere, they were supposed to follow the calendar of the land. And that's what this book is telling you right here.
I tell you, boy, you go diving into all these other books, and you'll be saying some more weird ass shit. Confusion. Utter confusion. You heard it. You heard them. But let me start, before I start running my mouth, let me get all honor, all honor and praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Bahashem Chaha Kodash, and dumb honor to the elders and apostles, men of great millstone, and to the rest of the brethren on down is teaching and preaching the true doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Shalom Bayat Hadabada, and to the Akim and Akwat that's out there repenting, Shalom to you, Mashpaka, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans whose fathers go back to one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob, Yasha Allah, and also to the speckled bird of our people that's among the other nations, looking like the other nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 12 and 9. Shalom, Mashpaka. Bishop Hakarab coming at you with a quick one. I'm going to try to make it fairly quick, right? But you heard what that individual said. But let me just address a couple of things before I get into these scriptures. You heard the individual had the audacity to say, when we was in Egypt, he said that was the northern hemisphere. And then he said the Most High was telling us we was going to go to our land, which would have been the southern hemisphere. What the hell is you talking about? And Lord willing, I'll show it. I'm going to show it. I'm going to put it at the end of the clip and show you why he said it. Individuals bugged the hell out, man. You know, the kind of individuals that will say north is south, east is west, you know, down is up is down, and forth is back, and back is forth. Just complete idiots, man. Complete idiots. So he's saying we came out of Egypt and we went into our land. We went in our land south. So he says when we kept the Passover, the first Passover we kept, which was in Egypt, he said that was during the time of springtime. And then it says, and then when we went into our land, which would have been in the southern hemisphere, we would have been keeping the Passover, which would have been 6 months later, and that would have been the beginning of the year. A complete weirdo. A complete weirdo. I don't care where your ass at on the earth. I don't care where you at. The new year is the same time wherever you at, buddy. Wherever your ass at on the earth. See? And the Passover was the same time we got in our land and kept the Passover. It was the same time that we came out. That's what makes it a remembrance. See? Memorial. Doing something during the same time period of when it was originally instituted. See? Complete idiots, man. But see, this is what happened. You go diving in old books, and then you don't even understand what the stuff you diving into those other books. You don't even understand what it's saying in the books. Talking about the year Jubilee, it's talking about the land Sabbaths, meaning in one land the Sabbath was this day, and then you go into another land and the Sabbath is a whole different thing. You just complete idiots, man. Complete idiot. Don't make no damn sense, man. Don't make no sense. Don't even understand what that Jubilee is talking about, man. See, it's talking about the blowing of the trumpets. You know, the year of rest, the day of rest and the year of rest. Meaning, or the freeing of a debt. You know. But I ain't gonna go into those because you got the freeing of the debt, which is the year of Jubilee, pertaining to the free of the debt. That's the 7th year. 6 years a brother can owe you something, and in the 7th year you gotta free the debt. That would be the year of Jubilee there. That's 7. The 7th year. Pertaining to the land Jubilee. You would till the land for what? For 6 years, and the 7th year you would let it rest. And then you also got the weekly Sabbath. That's also a Jubilee too. Why? Because 6 days you would do your work, do whatever you got to do, and the 7th day you would rest. See? This is the meaning, what it says Jubilee, meaning sounding the trumpet. This is the reason why you will blow the trumpet in the new moon and on what? On the Sabbath. See? Of sounding the signal, signaling. You know what I mean? But I don't want to get into that. But see, the individual made another statement and said that in the scriptures, you don't know. He was talking about the Apocrypha, but he said in the scriptures, you don't have of when we know when it's a Sabbath. Yes, we do. What are you talking about? And he talking about, oh, you got to go into the book of Jubilee to find that out. What are you talking about? He reading the book of Jubilee and he all confused, don't know what the hell is going on. See? And it's in the text, and I'm about to read it, right? But let's run through a few of these real quick. Slakia. Genesis, chapter 2. We're going to start there first, right? Genesis 2 and verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the 7th day, Yahweh ended his work, which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made. And Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, created and made. You see that? So the 7th day, he sanctified it and said, look, this is when the Sabbath is. And how and what was the moon doing on that day? How we knew it was the 7th day? How? What position or what light of the moon was it? It was it would have been that first week. Meaning the moon would have been half lit on one side and half dark on the other side. The light would have been increasing. See? This how you would have known. See, let's go here. Genesis 14. Slakia, before I do that, let me grab this real quick. Let's go to Exodus before I do that. Exodus, what's that, 31? Exodus 31, around here. Exodus 31 and 16. It says, wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations, for a perpetual, Slakia, for a perpetual covenant. Perpetual meaning none, never ending, continuing. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. What is the sign between the Most High and us? Here we on the earth. The Most High is in the heavens. So what are the signs between the Most High and us? The sun, moon, and the stars. What does the sun tell you? The sun tell you the hour of the day. What does the moon tell you? The day of the week at night. It tells you that. That's why he says at evening. You should know what day it is at evening. Why? That's why the day begins in the evening. Because why? By the light of the moon, you will know what day it is. Not the light of the sun. The light of the sun tell you what hour of the day it is. See? For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. See? That's that. Let's go back to Genesis 1 and verse 14, right? And Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs. So what is a sign between the Most High and us? The sun, moon, and the stars. See? The moon is going to tell you what day of the week it is. That's how you would know if it's a Shabbat, if it's the full moon during the time of the Passover, it's a full moon. That's how you would know that. See? Because the moon, by the moon, is a sign of feast, man. It's a sign of these holy convocations that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua established for us, man. And it says what? And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. What is it for the days? The moon. And it says for what? For seasons. How do you know? How do you know? The moon is going to tell you those things, man. See? And for years, meaning the sun, moon, and the stars. That's what it's talking about, man. See? And let's continue to read to verse 16. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yahweh made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, which is the sun, and the lesser light to rule the night, which is the moon. He made the stars also. See? And that's that. But you get the point, right? You get the point. You see? This is what he did. Let's grab this real quick. Psalms. 104. Psalms 104. Let's go to it. Let me see real quick. Psalms 104. What was it? Let me see. Psalms 104 and verse 19. He appointed the moon for seasons. See? So what it said in Genesis 1 and 14? What is those things? Is for what? For seasons. And for what? For days and for years. You see that? So these things that he appointed to us for seasons during the time of something is according to the moon. See? The sun knows it's going down. You see? So these things are in the scriptures, man. Let's get the head chopper. Let's get the head chopper. This will cut your head all the way off, right? And this pertaining to Israelites says, yeah, I know the truth, but you're going off. You're going off. The information is right in your face, and you basically disregarding the words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. But you falling after these heathens talking about when it's the information is right in your face, and this'll condemn your ass right here. It's a chop your head off. Sirach 43, right? Sirach 43 and verse 6. We're gonna start at. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times by the moon. The moon is going to tell you when it's the new month, when it's the first Sabbath, when it's the second Sabbath, when it's the third Sabbath, and when we're going into the fourth final Sabbath, which is going into a new month. See, the moon is going to tell you that, and it ain't going to make no mistakes. It's going to tell you that. You're going to make the mistakes by listening to people, and then people try to tell you that, oh no, the Sabbath is every month of every week, Friday evening to Saturday evening, every month, man, you might look at the moon on a particular Friday to Saturday evening, and it'll be a crescent moon. How in the hell is that a Sabbath? See, a lot of you people but a bunch of idiots, because why? You actually despise the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that's been given to you. See? Complete idiots, man. He made the moon also to serve in her seasons, for a declaration of times, and a sign of the world. For the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreases in her perfection. Wait a minute. It says from the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreases in her perfection. So when the moon is full, that's when the light decreases. When the moon is full, it starts to decrease. In the new month, the light starts to do what? It started to increase. It started to get brighter and fuller and fuller and fuller. But you got individuals running around talking about, no, the new moon is when the light started and it would start decreasing. You are an idiot. Do you even have any comprehension, reading comprehension? And what it says right here, the month, verse 8, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully. Meaning what? The new month, the new moon, the moon is going to be doing what? The light is going to increase. Meaning it's going to be dark and the light is going to increase. It's going to do what? More light, more light, more light until it becomes full into a full moon. See? Then after the full moon, the phase of the full moon, the light's going to start decreasing. To do what? Go back into a new moon, meaning a new month. See? It's not hard. It's right in your face, and this will chop your head off, and it'll put your ass to shame if you say anything other. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above. What is the armies above? Those things that the Most High created, the sun, moon, and stars, shining in the firmament of heaven. You see that? You see what it says right there? You see? So how this is not, it's not written in there, so you got to go search in the book of Jubilees to find out what actually when the Sabbath is. No, you don't. What the hell is you talking about, man? Is this the book of Jubilees that I'm reading in? No, it's the book of Sirach. See, which is in the scriptures. I wouldn't be reading them if it wouldn't. You see? So this how we know when the Sabbath is. So anybody tell you anything else, hey, they going to fuck off. I mean, way off. And that dude was going way off. He telling you the new year is when we came out of Egypt. That was in the northern hemisphere. So the northern hemisphere, the new year would have been begun. It would have begun during the time of spring, which is now. And then if we went to the southern hemisphere, which we came out of Egypt, we went into our land to the southern hemisphere. Man, you damn weirdo, man. Complete weirdo. And then we would have been keeping, the new year actually would have been in the southern hemisphere 6 months later. See, because if the Passover started in March like it did, then you got April, May, June, July, August, September. That's 6 months later. So you're telling me the new year would have begun with one place. It would have been in the beginning, and then 6 months later, it would have been here in another location. You are an idiot. A complete idiot. A complete idiot. So according to that individual, when it's just know when you go outside and it's 12 o'clock, just know it's 6 o'clock according to him. When you see it's 9 o'clock in the morning, it's either 3 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon to his ass. Just simple, man. Just simple as hell, man. People was something else, man. But let me grab this real quick. Right. Isaiah 30. And what is that? Isaiah 30 and 26. Isaiah 30 and 26. It says what? Moreover, the light of the moon shall be even as the light of the sun. And what it says, what it's talking about, the light of the moon. When the light of the moon is even as the sun, what is it? What is it? Meaning when it's a full moon, man. When the second day, the second week of that month. See? So when the moon is as the light of the sun, that means when it's a full moon. And the light of the sun shall be sevenfold as the light of 7 days. You see that? So it's telling you right here, you don't see the sun. The sun don't change its light. When it's set, it's always fully lit. So he's telling you right here, the moon goes according to the light of a 7-day cycle. See? And it ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change. You will never see it on the Sabbath. The seventh day. The seventh day will be a crescent moon. You will never see that. A crescent moon, whether the light is increasing, or a crescent moon, whether the light is decreasing. You will never. That'll never be a Sabbath. Never. So you people are stupid, man. Stupid. It says, as the light of 7 days, in the day that the Lord binded up the breach of his people and healed the stroke of their wounds. When we came out, wasn't it the Sabbath when we came out? See? When we came out of Egypt, wasn't it the Sabbath day when we came out of there? See? When he healed the stroke of our wounds by bringing us out of that place where we was being afflicted at. It was a Sabbath. And on top of that, it was a full moon. That's what we saw coming out of there. A full moon. The night we kept the first Passover, it was a full moon. See? But you know what? I will read some more. But let me just grab this too. This Exodus. In 15. And what it says. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread, meaning you gonna keep the Passover and then the week of the unleavened bread, right? It says, thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, in the time appointed in the month of Abib, for in it thou came out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. What he says right there, in this same time period, you came out of Egypt. So when we go into our land, you're going to be keeping the Passover this same time period when you get in your land. That's what makes it a memorial. That's what makes it a remembrance, because you're going to repeat this same thing again during the same time. Not you coming from one place and you kept it here, and then you go into your land and you're just going to be 6 months later. A complete idiot, man. Complete idiot. And I'm going to end it off there. Giving all honor and praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Hashem Kahakudash. Shalom Yashara. Oh, Slakia, I just wanted to show this real quick. Here you go. And he said, look at the continent of Ham, the tabernacle of Ham. It's upside down. And he said Egypt would have been where? He said northeast of the southern Africa. He said this would have been the top up here. This would have been Egypt location. And when we came out of Egypt, we went south to our land. You see the idiocracy of these people, man? Look what he say right here. The map we use is upside down. South is north. Complete idiot, man. Shalom again.